All right, welcome back. So we are back here in Stationeers, back at the new base up there. Um, Here is where we left off last time. So we have our base in here. I went through, added all our silos, at least just 10 of them for now. Got our tanks and the filtration devices placed, but haven't really hooked anything else up. Uh, I did add this area back here. So this is going to be our generator room. So this is where we're going to set up all our gas fuel generators in here. So through this airlock and this big room in here. And that's what we'll be doing in today's episode, is doing that first. But let's check out the base. Got a bunch of materials here. So I ran power. So I got our heavy cable going straight up. Got our chutes, our pipes. So we have CO2, nitrogen, oxygen, water. This is our return pipe for any gases. And those go to this tank here. Our elevator battery is dead, so we'll have to go up this way with the jetpack. A little bit quicker anyways. One of the things I did was went through, added in our walls, welded everything up. So now we can take a look. So we have this area here. Got an amazing view now, so we can look out and see even from up here or down here. This is definitely the better view. We can look down and see our base. Old base is over there. And then we can see everything. So we have underneath our main room. So this is where our chutes are, all our different pipes, our power. So I have water going to the greenhouse as well as the different pipes for the oxygen, or all the different atmospherics that we'll need. So I placed everything up here. All I've done is hooked up the main airlock here, as well as added in our water. But nothing's been powered on. Base hasn't been pressurized yet. And then our greenhouse. So this is our first greenhouse. This is where we'll be growing our wheat and potatoes and all that. So that will be in here. We have our air conditioner right there. If we drop down underneath, we can see, so our pipes come through right here. This is where we're going to vent the gases for our greenhouse. And then we have this area down here for Larry to harvest our plants. So each one of these rooms will be its own sealed atmosphere. And this is our second one for any other items that we grow. And then we have our airlock, which that one will probably stay disconnected. I don't see a reason to turn it on. But let's get downstairs the fast way. There we go. And we can take a quick look on the outside of the base. I was playing around with the cladding just to make the base. And then still gotta figure out how I'm going to make this look good, or what I want this to look like. But I went with a kind of step approach just to break up the boxiness of the base. And then did some of these angles as well with the steel frames to break up, just so it's not quite such a box. And there's our airlock to the greenhouse. But yeah, this is our base so far. And then I put down the cladding so we have a ramp up. That'll be very helpful later when we're doing ore mining, and we have the Dersey robots going in and out of the base for their drop off. But let's get to it. Let's get our power set up. That's gonna be the first priority. So I put a fuse here. It's set to 100 kilowatts, so max power on the cable. Did forget a airlock, so I'll have to go make an advanced airlock. But what I'm doing right now is I'm taking this pipe and we are going to run this all the way around the room. So get this put in. This is what will be connected to our vents for cooling. So we'll be able to space out just some passive vents to allow the air conditioner to pull in as much of the room as possible, and then it evenly kind of distributes the material around. So just get this going. Okay, so we have our AC here. There's that. We have this brown pipe here that's going to be our waste gas, i.e. anything that is overpressure in the room. We can vent it that direction. So we got this. Let's see. So I believe we just need some coils. Fix that. We will use the programmable chip. So that is set up. And I'm thinking we will use the air conditioning on through this wall. So maybe bust through right here. Drill out some area. And we can place our radiators in this area here. So just clear a spot. I don't believe it's actually take a look. Yeah, so it's treating it like a room at the moment, which means most likely need to go just straight up, pop a hole through, and this should be underneath the base. So we shouldn't see it from the outside yet. So if we do that, it should slick. Yep. So it considers it the world now, which means we can use our vacuum radiators out here. So I'm thinking to grab some of these. Just make a little 3x3 platform. There's that. Get this welded up real quick. This is where we will put our radiators for the cooling for our gas fuel generators. Okay. So here's that. Double check, make sure it still considers this world. Yep. So we're good on there. We are going to need two different pipes now. So that will be our cooling, and this will be our return pipe. And honestly, we should be using this pipe instead. There we go. So get that. Now this one won't matter as much. So we can just go like that. Grab some vents. I have, yeah, some passive vents here. Did I have any insulated vents? I think so. Okay. So use these passive vents. So that will just pull from the room. And then we want to take the cold air and push it all through the room. That's good. And then our waste and just go straight out. There's that. I will need these vents in here. Did I bring? Nope, did not. So we'll just grab the pump. Okay. Need some pressure regulators. Bring 10. Need some more vents. So that's good. Need the radiators. That's good. Yeah, one way. We'll need a one-way valve. Actually, no. We won't. 5 radiators is plenty. It's honestly overkill. So we'll get those, and then I think I have a turbo pump upstairs. Let's get a turbo pump. Yeah, there we go. Let's drop down. Okay. Turbo pump. We can honestly just place it probably right here. Okay. Now, radiators. Thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be plenty. And then pipes. That. that. All right, got those. Pulled up our radiators. Okay, so there's that. Do we have... I already connect that? Yeah, okay. So that's connected. That's good. Okay, so let's double check. Yeah, so we're going that way. Want as much as we possibly can, and that's going to push everything into there. So that's good. Now, putting everything on heavy cable for now, and that can just go on. Should never turn off. That's good. That's good. So that's turned on. There's that. Let's take our vents, and we probably want to do one right there, right there, right there, and right there. So that will push air out over the room. So we can get these hooked up. And like that. That one. That one. That one. And then right here, so the way I want to do this, think about it. So I want a way to store some gases in here, and then if it goes over a certain pressure, actually we might not even need this pipe because we can just use one of these tanks here. And we'll just put this over here in the corner. So we have data connection right there. In case we do need the data. Got that. And let's see. So we are going to want, I think pressure regulators should be able to do this. So if we do one right there, and then flip it, and one right there. Actually, we do have the turbo pump. Might be easier just to use the turbo pump. Yeah, maybe we do the turbo pump instead. Because then we can pressurize the system. Yeah. So, because it can go both directions. And then what we'll do instead is we put a back pressure regulator on this. That way if the tank gets too high for pressure, so say like over 40, we can just dump it into that pipe. So that would be there. Then we take our turbo pump there. Excuse me. And we can just run it straight down like this. So like that. That I don't think we'll need a data connection on here. So we will do that a little bit nicer. We'll go straight out here, right there. And then we have the gas sensor here. Oh, actually, no, because I'm gonna use this for the that brown pipe. So we'll go right there like that. So that will always be on. Take these. Like that. Grab some more pipe. Like that. So now we have a way to pressurize the system, or take excess pressure in this room, dump it into this tank. If it goes above that, then we can vent it into this brown pipe here. So we will take this brown pipe, and instead of putting it here on the ground, instead we'll go up and over. So like this. Oh, definitely forgot to close that up. Okay. Actually, yeah, it doesn't need to be. Okay. Oh, so I can just use a basic airlock right there. Or maybe we connect it into our elevator room. No, I think that'd be too much hassle for what it's worth. Pick up the rest of this brown pipe. There we go. So up and over. And just so we can see it, we'll go up and over this way. Is that? Here we go. So that's our brown pipe for dumping into here. So that'd be one of the tanks. So there's that. Okay, so we have storage tank, we have air conditioning, we have all of this. So now I think it's just simple. Oh, we'll need fuel. Fuel. How can we do fuel? I think that's gonna come through right here. And I want our fuel to be insulated piping. So we will come yeah, it's gonna be blocked if I go that way. Let's bring it in this way, just so it's out of the way. Oop. Oh. Okay, so that's our fuel pipe. Get this welded back up. Okay, so we got fuel over there. Is our gas fuel generator. I am thinking we use this thing right here. So like this all the way through. So it gives us 4. We can add one more if we really need it, but I think 5 runs the risk of us blowing the cable. I'll stick to 4. Here is our backup solid fuel generator. And is this considered room? No, this is world as well. Okay. That's good. So there we go. So that's why I left it open. But we can tie this into our power as well. That way, to jumpstart the system, we can use this. So there's that. Now we just need some piping. So let's see, I should have insulated piping. Yeah, right here. The way we will do this, the exhaust as well, we will connect that to this brown pipe as well. Okay, that's perfect. We can run it right here underneath. So let's take some of these. And input is right here on this side. We'll go like this. Actually, I do want to leave a little bit of space. I remember why I had so many pressure regulators. So I'm going to use those to control the fuel pressure on here. And that way each one is on its own fuel pressure system. So here's that. Put that there in case we want to add a 5th one in the future. We'll go up like this. There. Okay. And then pressure regulator. 1, 4. We are going to set this to 1 for now. There we go. See. So we'll have power coming straight out like this on each of them. Cables. Definitely a little overkill using all these heavy cables, but
Hydration critical.
got a lot printed. And getting close to me needing to go back to the old base. Okay. There, right there, right there. And then the power comes in from right here, so. All right. Now we run this through. Okay. So that gets us the fuel going. Still got a little bit of time before I need to head back to base. Now let's take the exhaust. And the exhaust can just run straight out through here. This one will go up.
Hunger critical.
Okay. And so close. I don't have any more pipes. Okay. Is that? See what we have in here. Any more pipes? I think it's all upstairs or at the old base. We are due for water and food though, so I will cut it right here, and I'll be right back after I top up our pipes and grab food and water. See ya here in a moment. Okay, so we are back. So I just flew back from the base. Brought a fuel canister with us. That way we can get this powered up. Grab the airlock device as well. So we'll need battery. Then I think I have, yeah, portable connector. Just need one of those. So let's get the fuel going. So I'm thinking we put it right here. Grab, oops. So let's go straight down from there. Now this is just temporary until we get an actual fuel system in there. So can that connect on directly? No, it cannot. Okay. So we'll go right here. It means right there. And right there. Actually, I'll just go like that. And then we'll have eventually fuel coming from somewhere. Still need to figure out where we're gonna put that. But for now, that works. So we'll go like this. And then let's do a turbo pump. That way I can either charge or deplete the system. And then just need some power. I can run it right through here. I don't know if I need the data or not, but might as well hook it up since we're here. Okay. And then power. I can bring it through here. Go. Set that to 0. Grab our tank. Put that on the connector. Get that hooked up. There we go. So now we should have fuel in the system. And then let's also get this hooked up. So we will bring that through this direction. Grab some more cables. Go. That. Now the battery. I'm thinking for the battery, wonder- oh, that's right. So these can't be on the same network. Okay. That's right. Okay. So I'm gonna need the battery in here then. In that case, we will just put it. Yeah, I think. Hmm. Yeah, we'll just put it right here so it's not blocking the window. So we do that. Our battery. That means this can all come up. And this, I think we will just run straight through to here. Okay, so there's that. There's our nuclear battery. Let's So I'm leaving the data off of that battery. That way I can connect the data to the rest of the, which means that. Okay, so that connects through to our power out there. Oh, how do I want to do this? Okay, well, all of that, so the air control inside the room is going to be its own separate system from the generators. Okay, yeah, so this will work just fine. So if I go this way, like this, means we'll have the data for all our generators as well as the battery all on its own network. So I'll be able to use a IC housing to get that info. So that's good. That'll be fine. And then one of the other things I was going to do was put some insulated inline in there. So that just increases the capacity and volume of the fuel pipe. So that's good. Now, if we take some coal, just do 17 in there for now. Turn that on. Should start running. And because this is world, we don't have to worry about like pollutant and CO2 in here. Building up, so that's fine. This is also vacuum. Still considered world. I think that's just because these doors. Okay. Airlock. Put that in. Put the glass on. Put our card in there. Take our area power control, flip that on. That on. So there's that. So I just still need to do a vent. Just the vent. It's just gonna come right there. Yeah, I got pipe. Right there. Then we'll grab a active vent. Should have one here somewhere. I thought. So I'm gonna grab one of these fuses too, so I can put that inside the system. Okay, so this battery is charging. I'm actually gonna take that battery and move that to the airlock in there. All my active vents are up here. Yep, and just need one. Did I want that passive vent? I don't think so. The valves and stuff we'll use later. Okay. What's this? One and two. Oops. 100 kilowatt power. There we go. That way, if it does blow, the generators blows right there on the fuse, and I don't have to track down the wire. And same if anything uses too much power. Okay, and let's throw some more in. There's that. That charges our battery here. The vents there. And cabling. So let's label glass door outside, glass door inside. So our vent, that's our sensor, exterior, interior. Cancel pressurization. Okay. So now we are in this room. Still considers it the world though. Oh yeah, because we have this open out here. So if we let's look, I don't think, yeah, everything should be good on there. The other thing I was going to do is put a liquid drain. I think I have some right outside. Yep, right here. Just in case, that way we don't have any liquid buildup in there. Full pressurization, perfect. And then, so if we do that right there on that one, and right there. So that should stop any buildup of liquid in here just in case. So take that, hit this, hit that. Now, let's look. It is a room. We should be good to start pressurizing the system. So let's look. So this is set to 40,000. Yep. So 40 megapascals. If that's in the tank, then it will shut off. We have our AC over here. That's going to be used to run the pressure system mainly, and then keeping the temperature in here below. So that's good. And then I just need the housing right here for running this stuff, which maybe I will set it there. So let's grab 2 chips and a housing. So 2 chips and 1 housing. Since this is all on one network anyways, I can use this chip here for controlling the generators. And let's rename this to gas fuel generator IC housing. Use that. Cancel pressurization. Okay. That one. and there. So there's that. Gas fuel generator, gas sensor, and gas fuel generator air conditioner, gas fuel generator turbo pump, uh, turbo pump, and then this will be for pressure. So there's that. Okay, so that should be good. We can start dropping some oxide. Start with 4 of them. And just use our welder to melt some of them. So pressure is building up. So that got us to about 18 kilopascal, 17, 18 it looks like. So let's grab I'll say that much. Oh, there's that. Probably need to get some more oxide. It takes half a backpack to pressurize this room. Pressurizing the main base is going to eat up a lot of oxide. But there we go. So we're up to 70 already. That's good. In that case, might as well just dump the rest of this. Keep some pressure in here. And I have the reinforced windows on here. So if we look, reinforced. Oh. I could spell. Window. Reinforced window. These are the composite ones, and they can go up to 8,000 kilopascal of pressure. So unlike the other, the old base where we had to be very concerned with the pressure in the room, in this base we really don't need to. So there's that. If we look, yeah, we have pressure, we have oxygen, so we could actually breathe in here if we wanted to. Before that, though, let's go like this. Hook up that pipe. Okay, so that will be our exhaust pipe. That's hooked up. So there's that. Okay. So what I will do is do a time lapse right here of me creating the code to run the cooling and the pressure control in this room. So I will see you in a moment. Okay, welcome back. So let's go over the code real quick. So what I am doing is got the sensor, the AC, the pressure pump. Got a register for the temperature, the pressure, and then we have our target temperature. So 25 degrees Celsius. Our target pressure, so 200. So that's our high pressure. Our low pressure is 100. And then simply we set the setting on the pump to 0. That way it's not moving anything. Mode 0 on the pump pushes it towards the tank. And then we make sure the pump is on as well. And then we go through our loop. So we start with the yield, make sure the AC is idle, our pressure pump is 0 on the volume it's trying to move, and then we load our temperature pressure. And then if we're over our target pressure, then we jump to store. If we're less than our low pressure, we jump to vent. And then if we are greater than our target temperature, we jump to cool. And pretty simple. All it's doing is we're loading the temperature and pressures again when you first go into these loops. And then if we're less than our temperature, then we jump back to loop. If we're over that temperature, then we set the AC mode to 1. And then it stays here in cooling until the temperature is cooled. And then on this one, same thing. So we're loading pressure. If we are less than our target pressure, we jump back to the loop. So we're under the 200 mark. If we are, actually, instead of doing that, let's do this again. So add target pressure, actually subtract. So it's going to take our target pressure and then subtract 50. Subtract 50 from that. And then this will be R0 here. So what we're doing is our target pressure of 200, subtracting 50 from that. So we're back to 150 kilopascals. So if we're less than that, that means that we don't need to keep storing any atmosphere in the tank. If we're over that still, then we would use that pump to store atmosphere, and then the opposite here on the venting. Let me grab this, export, there's that, and then if we turn one of these on, which might need to get area power supply in there. That way we have a battery on the system. But in the meantime, I can just go like this. Let's see, I think I have a area power supply. Not down here. Yeah, not down here. Okay. No, I got one upstairs, so let's go grab that real quick. Thankfully, pretty quick to get to the top of the base. So, area power supply. And real quick, to get to the bottom. Here's that. Could actually just connect that pipe right in, and then it should be real quick getting in and out through that airlock. What I will do. I think if we Say cut it right here. Like this. We do that. I don't think it will cause any issues. So if I grab this. Oh, it does cause an issue. Okay. Was that it's trying to draw more than it can, which means we need a transformer on there. Okay. So let's grab a transformer and another fuse. So one more fuse. And I should have transformers. They're probably upstairs as well. Okay. Back upstairs. Yeah, I got a couple small transformers here. So grab these. Right. Pressurization. Okay. So go like this. Our fuse again, 100 kilowatts. Go like this. Oops. Wrong one. Go. Go. That. That. So now it should be able to go like this. There we go. I think the battery is pulling everything. Right. Let's redo this. So I need power for here means these power cables need to get moved around. So is this fine? It's fine. It's fine. So these can all be on their own network.
Hydration critical.
It's all of this stuff will be on its own network, and then
Hunger critical.
uh, so yeah, let's just go this right over the top. There we go. So now we have power coming from there. Means get rid of that. And this. And this power. Okay. So we can connect this in directly. So like that. And then oops, one more. Right there, right there. So now should have power if I connect that. There we go. So now we have power on there. If we cycle the airlock to turn on our fuel, check that real quick. Turn you on. Do one. Go. Start getting some pressure in there. Turn that off now. Let's go take a look real quick. Make sure our generator will work. If it does, I will turn that pump on just a tiny bit and then get that pressurization before I forget. Go. That should work. Turn you on. On. Just a little too cold in here. Once this heats up the room a little bit, these will start running. Yeah, so it needs to be 20 Kelvin in there. So I will head back to base. Probably make this a time lapse as you see me race back to base before I pass out. All right, we are back. So I just came up here to get the, what was it? Oh, wall heaters. That's right. Put some of those airlocks down. So grab some wall heaters. That way it can help heat up that room. These will just be temporary. Okay. I just do that at 1 liter. Be fine. I don't think it will blow the pipe. Famous last words. But okay, so we are up to 1 degree in here. I will shoot right there. There's that. And that will just help with getting these going. Oh, I need more battery. What I'll do is just use the sensor lenses. It's like I'm playing a musical generator. Okay. Instead of doing that, let's come out here. Let's be smart about it. Let's use the IC10 chip over here, as well as... Okay. So that's going to be controlling all the generators. I don't have a way to view the power on the battery. So that data cable, I need to flip it around. So instead of the data cable, want that connected this way instead. Okay, so now we can read the battery on there. And we have our generators. Venting. Okay. And I will turn this into another time lapse as I get this code going. Okay, welcome back. So, after tinkering around with the code, I think I got it working. So, let's take a look at the code real quick. We go back in here. So, very basic, getting our max ratio charge, our defining the hash for the gas fuel generator and that nuclear battery. Starting it off, just set the generator off. Load the maximum charge for all the generators as well as the charge. So the sum. So it's loading the sum. So the total maximum charge and then the total current charge for all the different batteries. Dividing that to get a ratio. And then if we are less than 0.2 for the ratio, so less than 20% power, we set register R0 to 1. If we are greater than 95% power, then we set that R1 to 1. And then we set greater than or equal. So setting an R0, if R0 is greater than or equal to R1, that means if R0, so if we are less than 20%, that will be true. If we are over 95%, that will be true. So 1 will be greater than um, R1 here. And then this will be 0 when it gets above 20. And then this will be 0 as well if we're less than 95. That means if we are equal to each other, so 0 and 0 is equal, so that's still true. So it'll turn on and then it won't shut off again until we're up above 95. And then this will turn false, which means we'll have 0 and then R0 is just controlling the generators. So hopefully that should work. As you can see, our power is now, or our temperature in here is now up to 23, which means the air conditioning should turn on soon. We are currently generating 5 kilowatts of power, and I think we can go higher. So that's 16 kilowatts right there. If I set this to 100, so let's do 100 in all of these. So if we do that, now we're generating 50 kilowatts of power. Our temperature has gone way higher. 35 degrees over here in this corner. 32, 33. Now our AC is working. And yeah, we have negative 91 degrees Celsius in there. So it's going to push into this pipe here, which the way to yeah, so it's taking this, moving it over to here. And yeah, we are max out on there. So I'll have to keep an eye on this to see how it goes um, with this. I think I will shut these down to just one generator and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that can have fun swapping or flicking those switches all at once. But we'll see how the temperature goes in here. keep an eye on it with just one generator running. Yeah, still making 12 kilowatts of power. And what are we up to charge? Was that 7%? But I think I will end the video here. So today we got the generators up and running. Between episodes, I will just clean this up a little bit, and then I may need to change the cooling around a little bit. But if I do anything too crazy, I will show that all in the next episode. I just want to make sure this works correctly. But thank you so much for sticking around. I know we didn't get too much done today. A lot of it was just messing with the power. Um, but that is important. We need power for everything else we're going to do here in the base. So that should be running. And then I will get some consoles up here, some LED displays like we had in the last base, so we can see what is going on inside the room without having to go in there. But thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next episode.